Hello, everyone. Back in the attic. Sin A. Hello. Thank you for coming through. Thank you. Thank you. This damn message. I really got to edit it. Let me see if I can edit it. Hold on, guys. I'm just waiting for some more people to come in. Woo! Hello. Hi, Bags in the Attic. She was the first one here. Hello, sister. Hello. Hello, Sin. Thanks for joining me. Of course, you guys can support my page through all of these means, blah, blah, blah. I have to actually edit this because this is a lot. And since I go live through StreamYard and on my desktop, I'm not really able to see what that, edit it right before I go in anyway. Got to figure that out. Hello, Antoinette. Hello. Thanks for joining me, guys. Hello, Amanda. You guys follow Conversations with Amanda G. I absolutely love Amanda, always coming up with positive conversations about different things. Thanks for coming through. April. Hello, April. Hello, Stacy. Thank you. Hello. Good evening, Daphne. Cheryl, my girl, is in the building. Hello, Cheryl. Hello, Mabel. Face red heart shape. That's how it comes across on there. Face red heart shape. Hey, my brother Darnell, for all of you who do not, which I'm sure you do, but if you do not, for anyone who's new here, please follow Darnell at We Can All Do Better. Because why? We absolutely can. Each and every one of us. And he shows us how. Hey, Rick. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Penny Wenny. Love you. Thanks for coming. Hello, Patrice. Hello, Tina. I am having a blessed day. I'm very happy today. It's a good day. I'm missing my wife because she's down in, North Carolina, but me and Biscuit is making out okay. Hey, Arlene. All right, April says hello, Darnell. Woo. Who do you love, Rick? Lord. Uh-oh. Today is my birthday. You love me, Rick. Thank you. I hope that's in a healthy way. Happy birthday to who? Whose birthday is it? Angela says hello to beautiful people. Hello, everyone. Simone, hello. Annie Logan, hello, Miss Annie Logan. Mary Bacon. Oh, from Johannesburg. All right. Hold on a minute. From Johannesburg, Arkansas. Not Johannesburg. Sorry. I'm looking over here. I need my glasses. Jonesboro, Arkansas. I just saw the J and the H, and it's not even an H. You see that? Don't pay me no mind. I'm trying to get it together. Angela says, hello, Life Contalina. God bless you and your service. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hey, says Gina. Hey, son. Good evening, everyone, says Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Tina Sullivan. Hello, Tina. Rick Garland said the truth. Where's he at? All right, Rick. All right, Rick. I just want to make sure. Arlene. Okay, so it's Arlene's birthday. Happy birthday, Arlene. Happy birthday. Darnell says, hey, everybody from We Can All Do Better. Make sure you follow him on Facebook and YouTube. Happy birthday, says Bags in the Attic. Good evening, Lena, says Vicky. Hello. Hello. Arlene's birthday. Happy birthday. You're going to have to get Darnell to sing. I don't know if I can pull that off. Oh gosh. Amanda says not happy birthday. Hello, Darnell and Penny. Debster. Hello, Debster. Guys, wait till you I got some stuff. She's always hitting the mark. She always hits the freaking mark when it comes to personalized, very thoughtful gifts. Debbie, I appreciate you. I really do. Do I have your book here? Anyway, it's inside. I'll get it. But she sent me a book with my mom's retirement party and all of the family and all the pictures. And that was so thoughtful. So thoughtful. And while you guys are coming in here, she also sent me something a week ago. She's always sending something in the mail. Because she knows I love watermelon so much. You. Chop it off, that's square, and then you take the fork and you put it in your mouth. I absolutely love this gift. I love it, love it, love it. You see how I had this on my desk, Debbie, right? Thank you so much for your gifts. And she sends the biscuit, crayons, and just all kinds of stuff. I absolutely love Debbie. Thank you so much, Debbie. Gina says, thank you and appreciate it. Everybody saying hello to Darnell and Penny and all of this. Trish, hello, Trish. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Nicole Love, what's up, Nicole? What's up? What's up? Love you too, Debster. Love you too. Edith says hello, Lena and Darnell. Michelle is on here. Hello, thank you for coming through. You're on both lives. Thank you. I don't know who's on YouTube. I need to have that up here, as a matter of fact. Hold on, guys. I'm looking on the other screen that Darnell had bought me for my birthday. And let me put this on mute. Got it? Oh, okay. All right. Darlene says, hi, Lena. Finally catching a live part-time job turning into full-time. Guess retirement was not in my cards for right now. Oh, well, I hope you like what you do at least. I hope you like what you do. At least try to tolerate it until you're able to retire. And yes, life happens as it should, you know. There are no accidents. So thanks for coming through. Graceful. Hello, Graceful. That's nice. Debbie is so thoughtful. Ain't she though? Oh my God, it's so much. And I don't have my book in here, but she bought me a whole collage. And then I'm going to bring out something else. She bought me this keychain, and you guys can't see it too well, but it says a good coach. It's a good coach keychain, and I absolutely love it. And then you guys already know that she had bought me the earrings with me and my biscuit on it. So she's very, very thoughtful. Always thoughtful. Thoughtful indeed. Very thoughtful. Hello, Dolores. Vidette, hello. Hello. Brenda says hello. Oh, that's Rick. Okay. Hey, Rick, says Darnell. Hey, everyone. Okay. That's Rick. Bing. Celeste says hi, Lena, Darnell in chat. Hello, hello, hello. Ooh, I don't know. I don't care. Don't know, don't care. I'm going to be doing a live about shifting focus and, peace over profit and all that other stuff. We are moving away from all of that. And I'm not going to do it just yet. I got my timeline in mind. But yeah, we're not focusing on any of that. So Daisy, hope you didn't come here for that, because you're not going to get it. Not on this live. So you guys, for all of you, you guys already know I'm a life coach, right? And a life coach is an umbrella. I'm just going to go over this briefly for those of you who who don't know what a life coach is, or who don't know me. A life coach is an umbrella for many different niches. All right. Fortunately, I am an expert in many different areas. My primary focus and my primary niche is mindset transformation and soul coaching. So I'm an expert in human and spiritual psychology. But before I did that, for many years, for 13 years, I was a master relationship coach. And I actually had an LGBT relationship group where I got a lot of my clients from. And so I did a lot of coaching in relationships. And so one of the main topics that I have, which is in every relationship when they come to get coaching, is conflict, right? Now, the purpose of me doing these sessions online is to basically give you guys a better idea, a more clearer idea of what a coach actually does, right? The benefit of a coach. Let me put this off. Hold on a minute, guys. Oops, no. I don't even know how to put my name back up there. Anyway, I don't take the time to learn these things on this StreamYard. And Darnell's an expert at it, and I should be asking them for tips on how to do stuff before I do it. But I think about it as I'm on live, and then I can't get it done. Anyway, so the basic primary reason for starting these live coaching sessions, which is not actually a live coaching session because there's no one that I'm coaching. I'm teaching you, I'm showing you guys how I go about resolving certain things within people's lives, whether it's conflict in relationships, whether it's childhood trauma, whether it's dealing with difficult children, whether it's dealing with unforgiveness, abuse, whatever it is, soul coaching. Oh, so that's what I was saying. Let me get back to that. So I happen to be a master relationship coach. I'm also a positive psychology coach, a clarity coach, a solution focused coach. So I have a lot of different niches under my life coaching. So life coaching can mean anything. It can be fitness and health. It can be a life coach can have a niche of like maternal, like giving birth to children. She can be coaching on that. So it's a lot of different niches, within coaching. It can be business coach. I'm also a business coach. So it's just a matter of getting certified and becoming skilled enough to coach in those areas. And as a master relationship coach, in order to become a master relationship coach, I had to go through extensive training, with the International Coaching Federation. All right. You have to have a certain amount of hours under your belt, live coaching sessions under your belt in order to qualify as a master relationship coach. So that's what I do. And today I'm going to be touching base on how to coach conflict and how I actually go about it. Now, when I typically get a client, my clients sign contracts, and the contracts is usually, if it has to do with a relationship, anywhere from 3, 6 to 9 months, depending on the severity of their relationship, the problems within their relationship, and what actually needs to be worked out, but not less than 3 months. Within this 3 months, there are weekly coaching Zoom calls that I have, and it's live coaching sessions. There's also modules and books that I create for assignments for my clients, so they have to do assignments every single week within a relationship. With relationship coaching, it's not always two people coming together and coaching at the same time. Primarily, I do one session with the couple, then the next 2 sessions without them, individually, and then I bring them back because 9 times out of 10, the reason why they're there in the first place is because of their inability to communicate and resolve their conflict. So when I do it separately, they're able to articulate their feelings and their thoughts and their expectations to me, and I facilitate that, those feelings, thoughts, and expectations in the couple session. So that way it can be clear, it can come across better, and then they can kind of work towards resolving their the conflict within the relationship. And so this is just really just to give you guys an idea on what it is. Hi, honey. How are you? That's my wife there. Don't say too much, you'll be booted out, right? Oh, you're on YouTube now, okay? Because Facebook is always messing with my wife. Cassandra, hello. Everyone saying hello. Thank you. Yes, please like and share this live. I appreciate it. Yes, hello. Sharing is caring. Thank you so much. And I have shared your live tonight, and I have seen your lives before. Thank you so much, Suzanne. I appreciate it. Yes, you guys, sharing is caring. For the people who made you want to become, for the people, what made you want to become a coach? And I will definitely get into a lot of questions. So for Nicole, what made me want to become a coach is that I have always had a knack for helping people, right? I've always had a knack for helping people. It was primarily children. Years ago, I wanted to change the world by changing children until I realized that I couldn't change the children unless I changed adults, right? And that's when I got into children and family services, okay? Dealing with troubled teens and dealing with families and things of that nature. Becoming a coach gave me an outlet to actually really, really help people, help adults, so that way their families can kind of come in alignment and be okay. So my goal was to always fix children, right? And so becoming a coach and becoming an author gave me the outlet that I need to help people become better for their children, for their families, and to help people become better in life. That's why I became a coach. I absolutely love doing it. It comes so natural to me. I've always been conflict resolution. That's always been one of my things that I have naturally, conflict resolution, when it comes to family, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to anything, even in business. I have always been a problem solver. I believe in solutions. I believe in solutions. And even more so than that, teaching people to take accountability to take accountability for their lives has always been my passion, because I believe that people can change their lives. They have the power to change their lives. There are no victims here. And that's the problem. People think they're victims. But I'm here to teach people that they're not. Thank you so much, Linda. Thank you so much. And thanks for asking that question, Nicole. So it says, Susan says, Patty Sound, every time I'm watching someone else live and I shared it, and the sharing is caring. Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. You need to go make some money. I can teach you how to make some money, Paula. Look, I read the first thing. You guys making money, Chef Me page. Okay, who is the person that does not show it? Girl, please get out of here. Take a seat and sit this one out and listen and help, and let me help you change your life so you don't have to focus on any of that. Okay, we got enough on our plate to focus on. Hello, Vedette. Hello, Selena Crespo. Hello. You need it? What made you become a coach? As I am new to your live tonight and didn't know how it works. Okay. Hold on a second. I am kind of hot. Let me turn on this. And what made me become a coach? Woo. Okay. Well, I just answered that with Nicole, just in case you didn't get it. And the difference between a coach and, let's say, a psychologist, because I am a mindset coach, so I use a lot of the modules that a clinical psychologist will use, like CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, and EFT, and all those other different modules to work out emotional blocks within people. The things that keep people from becoming the best versions of themselves, right? Or being great in their lives, or having healthy relationships. All right. So the difference between me and a clinical psychologist is that I don't have the clinical behind me. I didn't go to medical school, right? So I can't charge insurance companies, but our practices are equally effective. Equally effective. I have been extensively trained in not clinical psychology, positive psychology. So let me get to it. All right. So we're gonna go for we're gonna deal with we're gonna dive right into eliminating conflict, okay, within a relationship. And hold on a minute. Just 1 second. Dealing with conflict in a relationship. Okay. So the first thing, and this is not going to be a really long live guys. This is going to be kind of short, and then I'm going to get to all you guys' questions. All right, because I'm going to try and do it kind of compact. All right. So the first reason why, well, the main reason why there's conflict in a relationship is because of it boils down to what you want, what you wanted in a relationship versus what you got from a relationship, right? Let me just put this further down. Okay, so I can see myself over the comments. And hold on one more minute, guys. I gotta find a way to let me see. I gotta find a way to have my thing up here. Anyway, can't do it. So basically what you want versus what you got, right? And so the first order of business in resolving conflict in a relationship is acceptance. All right. Now, when people normally get in relationships, the first thing is that they have all these, boundaries and all these expectations that they want within their mate, right? Except that when they get into a relationship with a person, they start overlooking all their boundaries, all the things that they really want. And they kind of say, well, I can, work this out later on. I'm sure they'll change. And they hope that whatever flawed characteristic or behavior that the person have in the present moment will change. And so they base their relationship and the longevity or the stamina within the relationship on the fact that this other person is going to change for the better. Now, naturally, we do want our spouses to change, right? That's just a natural thing, right? However, getting into a relationship with the expectation that somebody's going to change is the first reason why most relationships fail, okay? Because you cannot date a person's potential. What you see is what you get. And the problem with most people who are in conflicted relationships is that they are unable to accept the person that they're dealing with at the moment, in the moment, and they're focused on the outcome or the change that this person is going to demonstrate later on. So they're basically holding out for hope. And when you do that, you do a disservice to yourself because now you have conflict. Now you're in conflict with the reality of your relationship. So the number one thing that I always ask people, the number one question that I always ask people when they come to me for conflict in their relationship is, and this is a very important question that all of you guys need to take heed of when you're entering into relationships. If the person you're with right now never changes anything in their life, never changes anything, they stay just the way they are you able to be with them for the rest of your life? In most cases, 99.9 of my clients say no, they are not. And when they say no, that tells me everything I need to know about their ability to accept their own reality within their relationship. All right. Remember, you cannot date somebody's potential because they're not that person yet. So then you have to figure out how you're going to be with this person while they are changing or trying to change or trying to transform themselves. But the real question is, why do you need them to change? Why did you choose them? Why do you need them to change in the first place? What made you choose them? Because when you chose them, you chose everything that came with them. And your inability to deal with their reality and how they showed up is not their problem. It's your problem. Okay? Because it's all based on your expectations on how you think they should be. Right? So a lot of the times relationships, go bad because of so many surface little BS issues, things that wouldn't matter in a year, wouldn't matter in 5 years, more or less 10 years, right? And it's all these surface issues on how basically, how a person communicates, how they respond, what they do, whether they leave the lights on and you're tired of telling them to turn it off, whether they open a cabinet wrong and leave them open, all these little dumb things, how they don't replace the tissue and all this other stuff, right? And so what I typically do is I resolve all of those little things first so I can get to the real problems like communication, possibly infidelity, possibly abuse, possibly childhood trauma that trickled over into the relationship itself, right? And the best way to get to eliminate all that fluff stuff that's on the surface, the best pathway to peace is, let's say you have a pet peeve and your person, leaves the cabinets open all the time. They don't ever close them. And trust me, those things do exist in relationships, those type of small conflicts. Or they leave all the lights on without turning them off and getting to bed, and now you got to get up and do all those things, right? And so the best way to get your peace is to accept the person for who they are, know what they're able to do, even though you may be saying, oh yeah, well, they should be able to do this. Well, you want peace or not? And your peace is within your power, So the best way to handle those little tiny surface issues is to do it yourself. Know your person enough to know that this is something that they do. And yes, they should know better. But if you are going to put your peace and your happiness into your partner's hands, and they keep doing all these little tiny things that knack you, that annoy you, then you're never going to have peace, So sometimes it takes you to actually just make peace with who they are, right? And take peace and take your happiness into your own hands and do those things yourself, even though that person should know better. Now, I know a lot of people don't like hearing that, but that's the reality of it. I always choose peace. I always choose peace, and higher than that, I actually detach myself from the need of having anything, my partner do anything. If the cabinets are open in the middle of the night, then so what? It's not like we have roaches or anything. Let them be open. You know what I'm saying? So I have a unique ability to detach myself from those little surface things that annoy most people in the relationships. Now, when it comes to communication, hold on, let me just see what you guys are talking about here. Okay. So then the other part is, when it comes to resolving conflict in relationships, is communication. Now, the problem with communication and how I resolve this type of issue within my clients is to get them to first understand that communication is not a short-term goal. It's not a quick fix. It's actually a very long-term goal. Some people get to the place where they're able to communicate effectively after 10 years, after 15 years. Ask your grandparents. Ask your parents how long it took them to get to a place where they actually understand each other enough to effectively communicate their expectations or their wants or their needs or whatever it is to each other. Ask them. It takes years. All right. So the false expectation to think that you can actually tell somebody something and communicate it in a clear way. This is what you did. This is how it affected me. This is how it hurt me. And I can't be any clearer than this. And this is what I expect for you to do. And then the other person don't do it. I always coach my clients to understand that just because you're a better or a more effective communicator doesn't mean that you're a better communicator. Because you always get those people in relationships where one person communicates really clearly and the other person needs a little bit of time to think about what they're going to say. And then by the time they do that, the other person's like, well, it's yes or no. It's yes or no. It's a simple question. Well, no, that's not it. That's not it. In order to be a good communicator, and I've said this before in other lives, is that you have to have the ability to communicate your thoughts in an effective way to the person. And the way to do that is to draw them into your story and get them to understand. Now, that takes a lot of moving parts. That takes timing. Sometimes in that moment when things are heated, it's not time to do that. It takes knowing your person and knowing how they communicate and kind of, merging into their language and how they understand things. A lot of times it takes for people to calm down, and then a little bit of love and a little bit of, just affection or their love language. You can actually begin to communicate with them easily if you're able to touch them in that love, with their love language in that moment. But because you know how to communicate more clearly doesn't make you a better communicator, right? And then it takes time for a person to communicate, right? I mean, as far as you and your spouse, it takes you guys coming to a point where you understand each other so much that you're willing to accept them fully for who they are, right? And you understand how they communicate and you work around that. Now, you may be saying, well, I shouldn't have to work around it. Yes, you do, because you're merging lives here. You're dealing with two separate personalities, okay? And people communicate differently. So the best and clearest way to communicate is to give it time, accept a person for who they are. And I'm going to stick on acceptance because, again, when it comes to communicate, it's you being unable to accept the way a person communicates. And we can all do better. No pun intended, Darnell. We can all do better in areas of communication. Okay. But it just takes a long time. And a lot of times relationships are destroyed because they feel like after a year or two, they've been asking the same thing and then nothing is happening. Nothing is happening, or the person is not changing, and so on and so forth. Right. So that's the second thing that I always point out within my coaching sessions with my clients. All right. The other thing that causes conflict is triggers. Now, triggers, most likely, in more cases than not, most cases do not come from your current situation. Those are emotional wounds that you have carried over either from your childhood, from your teenagehood, from other relationships. And what ends up happening is we expect when we meet someone, right? And we're telling them about us and how we are and how we arrived where we are right now. We mention all of the bad things that happen to us in our relationships. We tell them all the things that we don't want in our relationships, and we think we're doing good by doing this, right? Don't do this. My ex person did that, and that was a trigger. And don't do this, don't do that. And I don't want a person that does this, and I don't want a person that does that. Well, what ends up happening is when you set those type of boundaries on a person when you're dating them, naturally, what they're going to do is they're going to go and try to come in through the back door. What I mean by that is they're going to put on a mask, because at this point, you're not even open for them to show you who they really are, right? And most people have sort of kind of the same characteristics here and there. It's just a matter of degree. So if you're telling someone, that you don't want it, X, Y, and Z, right? And unless it's abuse or something that's really detrimental to a relationship, you can't put a behavior on a person and expect them to, manage your wounds and manage your peace and manage your happiness by not doing X, Y, and Z. The reason why a person comes in through the back door and puts on a mask to get you is because you have already expressed that you don't, want all of these different things, right? And they may be able to relate to some of them things, except they're coming from a different place, all right? It's not the same as your ex. So they want a clear shot. So when they finally get in, you say, oh my God, this is what I wanted, but this is what I got. They lied to me. They, all this other stuff. No, they didn't. You never gave them a chance to be who they really are. When you give a person a chance to come into a relationship and be who they are, free and clear, of no expectation, just giving them the same shot to hurt you the way that you gave the other person to hurt you, giving them a clear shot to do that. Unless you do that, they can't show up authentic at all. And then you start experiencing problems, right? Because what you did was you gave them this whole burden of your pain to carry and manage. So if they do these things, it's going to trigger you. And in order not to trigger you, they can't do this whole list of things. They can't do that. And how do you resolve, or how do you even build a relationship based on all the things that you have set up for them not to do, which I like to call landmines? If they step on this, it's over. If they do this, then they're just like the other person and it's over, and then you're all hurt because now they did the exact same thing that the other person did. And now they double abused you in whatever way that is, how, affected you in whatever way that is. And that's not fair. We cannot put the burden of our triggers into the hands of anybody. That's not their problem. You have wounds that you came into this relationship with. You have wounds and you didn't heal those wounds. And so now you're putting the burden of that past pain onto your current partner and expecting them to manage your wounds, which means managing their behavior in a way that's not going to trigger you or make you have to reflect back and deal with your own pain. You should have come into the relationship with healed, wounds. You should have come into the relationship whole. If you are not able to come in a relationship whole, or at least with the ability to manage your own pain and not putting that on the person that's there, then you shouldn't be in a relationship at all. Because no one has the power to manage your triggers. No one should have the responsibility to manage your triggers or manage your pain. That's all on you. And here's the thing. It didn't even have to be that person. Anybody could have came into a relationship and touched that sore spot on your arm. So that's how you know that that wound does not belong to the person who you just ended up in a relationship with. Hold on, guys. Just seeing all of this. Hello. I'm here but driving. Okay, Lisa. So that's one of the major conflicts within a relationship is triggers. You ever had a person or yourself, was triggered by a certain phrase because the person that they were abused by, the person that they were in a relationship with before then, use this phrase in a derogatory manner, and then the minute you use it in joking or whatever it is, they take it and say, "Oh, don't ever say that to me," and they're just so stuck. When someone plays around and says, "Oh, well, you can kiss my rear," or whatever the case may be, and somebody may say, "Oh my God, don't ever tell me that's like kiss my ass." People get really riled up about certain phrases. Well, that phrase didn't rile you up because it came from her. It came, or him. It came from something that you was dealing with in the past that was conflict that you were unable to work out or resolve. And so you carried that in. So you carried that into this relationship. And now that became a step, not a stepping stone, a landmine, and so that person that you're with right now is barred or banned from having that, from saying that specific phrase. You guys ever dealt with that? You guys ever dealt with that? So that's very, very common, right? So here's the thing. When you are in a relationship and you are having a lot of conflict in a relationship, it's primarily because of your inability to accept the person for who they are right now. You have to find a way to deal with the reality of your relationship. All right. And then re-examine what it is you want in your relationship. or what you want in a person. And it can never be based on them changing to become anything else. Because putting the burden of change on someone, just because they're in a relationship with you, they have to change their behavior so that way you can be better and you can be more at peace, is an unreasonable expectation by far. No one has the power to manage your peace and your joy and your happiness by changing their behaviors. And even if they did, it was a temporary fix, as you guys already know. It's a temporary fix. It's nothing that can sustain a relationship. People may change their behavior and say, okay, I'll communicate better. And then 2 days later, they're communicating better. But a week later, they're back to not communicating better, because change takes time. It takes time. Okay. So the primary reason for conflict is not being able to deal with the person that you have in front of your face. And that's the primary reason, right? And so that speaks a lot about you and what you have to heal in your life. Now, when it comes to abuse or things, that are real deal breakers in the relationship, right? Then you have to examine why you're there, because no one is forcing anybody to be in a relationship. So then you have to examine why you're even there to begin with. And then that's a whole different conversation, because that's not the relationship. That's self-love. That has everything to do with self-love. Why are you denying yourself what you really want in a relationship? But if you leave a relationship, or relationship breaks up over those small things, over your landmines, your emotional blocks, the things that you came over from your other relationship, and now you expect this person to manage. If you leave a relationship based on that, you're only going to end up in another relationship just like that. Because it's not about getting the person that suits your needs. It's about picking a person and loving that person and trying to adapt and understand them enough to accept them for who they really are in that moment. And if you can't, goes back to my other question. Why are you there? What's holding you in this relationship? There are a few couples that came to me with the intent to stay together. And after the coaching session, they split up because they had to reevaluate what they really wanted in a relationship. They have changed over the years, and they are no longer the people that they were. And naturally, they're not, because life is about evolving. Life is about growing. Life is about changing. So they're not that person anymore. Right. And so their expectations have changed, or they have been through this so much to where they have changed, and then the other person has not changed, or haven't even made an effort on getting better with certain things that really matter, or that's really needed in a relationship. Okay. And so sometimes they don't even end up together at the end of the session, because they just want something different now, But again, dealing with conflict is about acceptance. You have to learn to accept the person for who they are. You have to learn to accept the person for who they are. If you chose them, then you have to learn to accept them. Things don't just pop up out of the blue. Everyone have different characteristics. Everyone have different personalities. And your job in a relationship is only to manage your emotions, become a better version of yourself, not for the other person, just for you. Okay. But you expect to be loved wholly and truly for who you are, for everything that you are in that moment. Not to say that somebody's supposed to love your jabbering, all of that picking apart. Not that somebody's supposed to love that. Okay. But love the person enough to choose to work through those differences and become more open-minded about who they are, but not with the expectation of who they will become, because it's typically who people are in the moment that people can't deal with. They love them, they're in love with them, but they don't like them. They don't like them, and they don't like the way their partner does this, and they don't like the way their partner does that. They don't like when their wife nags them. They don't like when their husband, shut down, or whatever the case may be. which is another form of you managing your emotions. Everyone has to manage their emotions, and everyone wants to be accepted in a relationship for who they are in the moment. So if you are waiting for anybody to change in a relationship, you're in the wrong relationship. Just know that you're in the wrong relationship. No one, you should never get with anyone based on their potential to change. Okay. So typically when I'm coaching my clients, I get them to understand the conflict within their relationship by putting the burden back in their own hands and their choices on how they came to this relationship, what they expected from the relationship versus what they actually got. You know what I mean? And it always goes back to you. It's never the other person. When you change yourself, your relationship will change. When you change yourself, your family dynamic will change. When you change yourself, your children's behaviors will change. So it's all about you changing. And yes, only you, because it only takes one person to transform their energy into a higher frequency, into a more positive frequency, to be more open-minded, to be more kind, to be more compassionate, to have more empathy in order for everything around you in your home to change. And that's what coaching a relationship, coaching conflict within a relationship is all about. It's about getting to the core of that conflict. And the core of that conflict always goes back to you. Even when it comes to communication, a lot of times in communication, people are trying to communicate their point, communicate their expectations. Well, that's not really communication. That's has a lot to do with control. Has a lot to do with control. People like to control situations, They are you are attached to the outcome of someone else's behavior. So if that person behaves in a certain way, you're so detached that it brings you discord and discomfort and conflict. You see? And the key to that is not to expect them to act anyway, or to react anyway, except for how they are going to react. And that's what it's about. It's about you detaching yourself from the expectation of who you want them to be and dealing with who they really are. And if you are unable to do that, then you're probably in the wrong relationship. Not all relationships are meant to last a lifetime, And by the way, there are two meanings to every relationship in this world, okay? You have the spiritual meaning, which I'll get to another video from a soul perspective, the purpose of a relationship, the real, genuine, godly purpose of a relationship, and the mental, physical part, where we're dealing with our emotions as we are now in this physical realm. All right. But as a soul coach, there is a deeper meaning and a deeper purpose to every relationship. What is this? My hair is breaking off. Every relationship. All right. What time was that? 7:05. Okay. Oh, so thank you guys for supporting my page. You guys have any questions? And I'm sure I missed some things. I'm going to get back to it. Doing this, it's really needed and helpful. Thank you so much. Exactly. I don't like when peeps try to change me to be someone else because they can't accept me at 100 proof, or they intimidated by who I am. I exit left immediately once someone try to demand who I need to be. Absolutely. You can't be that person. You can't be that person. We have to learn how to thrive within relationships, because when you're in relationships, first of all, we're there to change each other. That's the spiritual meaning of relationships. We're there to show each other who we are, right? And what we're capable of. Okay. So when someone comes into your life and they're expressing bad behavior or behavior that you consider to be bad or offensive or whatever the case may be, yes, they do have that bad behavior, but it's how you respond to it. See, that behavior is meant to teach you something about yourself. Do you have patience? Do you have tolerance? Why are you judging this behavior or this thing or whatever it is as being bad? You see what I'm saying? It's more for you to evaluate who you are, to evaluate how you have grown, and it's to test how you have grown in your life. So a lot of relationships really are there to test us. When you say that you're a forgiving person, I'm real forgiving. I forgive everybody and I don't hold anything against anybody. Well, God will send you somebody that will test your patience and give you something that is completely unforgivable and show you how unforgivable you really are. Okay. So people come into our life to show us who we are. And it's up to us to learn from them to see what their perspective is of us. And maybe, just maybe, it might be true. And if it's true, then maybe it's worth changing some things about ourselves, because the whole purpose of life is to evolve and to change it to a better person, just not to be forced to do it. Okay. So if you got people in your life that's telling you that you are one way and it's not, and it's damaging to other people, then maybe you should really consider that. You know what I mean? And that should want to prompt you to change. No one should change because someone told them to change. You have to own the only true transformation or deep, pivotal change comes from self-reflection and you absolutely wanting to change. And that's where that comes from. Thank you. Oh, you did. Good. Good. Oh, she said, Barbara said, good information. Can't wait to hear about the soulish relationship. Oh, yeah, there's a purpose of pain. There's a deeper purpose. We are dual beings. And I'm not going to get too much into this, but as a soul coach, we are dual beings. There is a spiritual and a physical. They both work together because the physical came from the spiritual. However, there is a spiritual purpose for relationships, for all relationships. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that session probably this week. But if you go down my timeline and look at my videos, spiritual partnerships, that'll teach you a lot about what you need to know about relationships and their purpose. I'm going to go up here. Nicole said, okay, what kind of behaviors are we talking about? Just surface behaviors. The things that most relationships struggle with. Again, you have those surface behaviors and then you have those deep issues and those deep behaviors, and it can be abuse, which of course no one should deal with, when it comes to just basically anything surface, the normal things or the common things that we as humans deal with in relationships, where we bump heads. The reason why people bump heads in a relationship is because of their inability to accept the person for who they are. And they expect things to be a certain way. So they need things to be a certain way or else it offends them. All right. And so that's where your power comes in at. That's where you come in at, and you take power for yourself. You have to take control of your own happiness. Yes, things will annoy us, but we push through those things. You know what I'm saying? We don't let those things be the determining factor whether or not our relationship is going to work or not. You have to be strong enough, and you have to have the ability to kind of try to overlook some things that don't really matter. So when people bump heads, it's really about control and not being able to or the other person's behavior. Your feelings, your happiness is attached to what the other person does. That's when you know it's your problem. If somebody does something to you and this is a deal breaker, then you should be out of that relationship. You shouldn't be there. Those are your choices. But to be in a relationship to change someone or to hope someone changes, yes, the whole goal is to hope someone get better, but not have them change for you because they annoy you or this hurts your feelings or whatever the case may be. You have to learn how to deal with your own feelings. You have to learn how to manage your own feelings. We get into relationships to share our love, okay? Not to find love. We get into relationships, we're supposed to get into relationships being happy, coming happy, not to find happiness. You see? Let me get down here. What you're not changing, you're choosing, right? And you know what, Deborah? What you're not changing, whatever you're not changing, you choosing. That's a true statement. That's a true statement. Okay. You have to change yourself or you have to change your environment if you can't deal with something. But I can tell you this, people are basically the same all across the board, meaning that we all come with stuff, right? And it's within our power to control how things affect us. Okay. So you have two separate types of people. You got the person who lights go off, they don't have money for their lights. And now they panicking and they're like, oh my God, I don't have lights and food's going to go bad and blah, 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 blah. Then you have the other person that says, well, I got at least 13 hours of sunlight. And from then I'll just use some candles and go to bed and I'll just work it out in the morning. It's about how it affects you. You see, because the way people's behaviors or whatever it is affects you is what's going to determine your happiness. So in order for you to be happy, you have to be, kind of laid back when it comes to certain things. We've all been in relationships with people that's extremely laid back. My wife is extremely laid back. I'm extremely laid back. We bump heads every now and again. But when I see that my peace lies within her ability to do something, that's when I know that I have to make a choice. I'm going to choose not even like letting that slide. That's going to slide. And it's not going under the rug because they'll never come up. I literally eliminate that thing as being a problem so I can have my peace. And that's what this is about. But that's a great live, Lena. It's very informative as always. I appreciate that, Bidette. Susan said, I've been in a bad relationship with my ex-partner and he is in jail for attacking me in the hotel room and I am confused. Who are you talking to? What do you mean? In the hotel, and I am confused. Who are you talking to? XX? I'm not really understanding that. I don't know if this is a question or I'm not sure. Can you rephrase that, Susan, for me, please? Penny says, I've changed, so not true. I met a guy, says Sheila, and he asked me why I am always dolled up. I told him I'm a grown woman, therefore I will always be dolled up. Therefore, if it's a problem for you, it's not my problem. Right. Some things are not your problem. Some things are not your problem. Really, it's not. The only problem in a relationship are things that hurt the other person. And I'm not talking about hurt your feelings. Well, of course, hurt your feelings if somebody's going to cuss you out, then you're definitely in a damn wrong relationship because nobody should be cussing you out in a damn relationship, right? But I'm talking about, things that you can't make peace with because this is who they are. It goes back to you, to who you chose. Did you choose a person based on who they are to become? Or you truly chose them based on who they are? And if you chose them based on who they are, then the question remains, if they never change another thing in their life, can you deal with them? If the answer is yes, you have chosen wisely. If the answer is no, you are in a wrong relationship and you have chosen wrong. Because we should never get in a relationship to change anyone. Okay. If they are expressing bad behavior, we can articulate our expectations to them. But then you have to have your boundaries with that as well. Like, okay, so this is a problem. And it very well may be a serious problem in a relationship with the other person. Something that can really drastically affect your relationship. I'm not saying let that slide. What I'm saying is articulate that. And if the person is willing to work that out, let them work it out. You have to see evidence of that change, though. But if they're not working that thing out, you don't overlook it. Especially if it's a deal breaker in a relationship, you get out of that relationship. You get out of that relationship. You know what I mean? So that's that. Thank you guys. Please like and share this live. I would appreciate it. What is this live all about? Oh, so I already did. Wait. What is your bank account? Okay. What is this live all about? Ex-partner and been in control of your partner, and I have been there and never again. And they don't change. They are more worried about what's in your bank account. Okay, I got it. I got it. Right. It's about choosing the right partner. It's about choosing the right partner. And if you're married, most people that come to me, they're already married, right? I only went back to the beginning on choosing a mate is because that's really the problem. You chose someone and what you want was different from what you got. So when people come to me for relationship coaching, they have pet peeves that they can't get by, that they can't get through, they can't seem to accept. I try to teach them how to deal with their own emotions when it comes to pet peeves and the little things that will tear apart a good relationship. I mean, at the end of the day, if you have a valuable person that brings value to your life, that can uplift you, that can be can enhance your life and enhance who you are in some way, a lot of those little surface issues really don't matter. And it's really about you. When you can't deal with with another person's, I don't know, whatever it is they do. Whatever it is they do. The reason behind those things is typically control or lack of acceptance. You can't accept them for who they are, you know? Hey, Sandra. So Deborah says, know yourself alive. All right. Know yourself in people's lives and act accordingly. It's not pride, it's self-respect. Absolutely. It absolutely is self-respect, Deborah. That's and self-love. When you enter in a relationship, you have to have self-love, But the relationships that I coach, like I said, are typically long-term relationships, and they can't figure out why they have such conflict in their life. And primarily the reason why is because they are not able to accept the person that's in front of them. And then the people that are in front of them are not willing to change toxic behavior. Right? And so my job is to teach the other person how their behavior is toxic and damaging and can be damaging to a relationship, because you can't have a relationship being, having toxic behavior. So I try to teach or show my clients how their behavior affects another person in a negative way, especially if it's a toxic behavior, if it's verbal abuse or whatever the case may be, if it's any kind of addiction, that people have to work out in their lives. I have to show them, and I'm an expert at showing them, by the way, how toxic that behavior is and how that behavior has damaged their relationship, And if they don't change that behavior, then their relationship may be over. And then you got the other person who's dealing with all of this toxicity, right? So then it's a matter of them learning self-love. See, it's two separate lessons here. It's about self-love for the other person. Why are you dealing with this? What's keeping you in this toxic relationship? If it's destroying you to this degree, then why are you still there? What happened to you in your childhood that keeps you functioning in this dysfunction of a relationship? These are the questions that I ask people, and these are the things that I get people to work out in their lives. And those are the relationships that usually go, because when they have to think about it, now they realize why they are in the situation that they're in, and then they also realize that they've kind of let go of their boundaries and they kind of settled for things that they necessarily didn't want to settle for, right? But of course they chose it. But when the relationship gets 5 and 10 years old, it's like, okay, now you find yourself in a position to where if things don't change and you're going to separate. So I teach my clients how to work out their lives if they're still compatible. If a person is not willing to change a very toxic and damaging behavior, then they're in the wrong relationship. The other person has to make a choice whether or not they want to, wait that out. And if they wait out that toxic behavior, believe you me, that they're going to have the war scars for it. And when that person finally decides to change their life and get better, they're going to move on to somebody else, because you was there, ride to die with them and helping them through all of this toxic behavior. And when they get better, now they with somebody else. Well, it's because they had no respect for you. And now that they have changed and gotten way better, they're on a different frequency. And so now they need a different person in their life. And that's a spirit. That's part of the spiritual reason behind change. When people are together, you're typically on the same frequency. You're there together because you are on the same frequency. When one person decides to evolve and get better in their life and better in their relationship, now the other person moves on to someone new and finds someone on that same frequency because you are still here. You haven't resolved why you even stayed in that relationship to begin with. You haven't resolved that for yourself. And so this is the outcome of it. Thanks, true, and keeping you love. Okay. Yep. I used to not be laid back. But as I've gotten older, the more laid back I've become. Right. Little things don't matter. Trust me, my wife and I, we're only 6 years in. My wife and I are only 6 years in. We have so much peace because she overlooks a lot and I overlook a lot. Things that don't matter. We don't call each other derogatory names. We don't cuss out each other at all. And I think that's important. There's no clinging where I need you to be here with me and I need you in my presence at all times. No, I have my space and she has her space. And the number one key to any healthy relationship, guys, I'm telling you guys right here now, is space. The key to a healthy relationship is space. Is having your own space. If you can't afford to have a house where you have your own space and you're in a confined place with your spouse and it's toxic, you guys need to allow the other person to go out and do whatever it is they're going to do. I'm not saying cheat and do all that crazy stuff, but give them their space outside the home. I feel for people who have small living situations and they're with a spouse and it's conflict, because I don't know if I'd be able to do it. It's hard. And when you have a spouse that's clingy, now you can't even get away from that relationship in that small, apartment that you're in. So it's important that you have a lot of space within your relationship. People need time to themselves. And sometimes that's offensive, but it shouldn't be. I'm laid back, but until I'm disrespected, then I become a different person. Right. And sometimes you have to teach people how to treat you. And again, it goes back to if you're still dealing with this same thing. I mean, if you can nip it in the bud like that and you've been in a relationship for a long time, you're able to nip things in the bud, then so be it. Then you're in the right relationship. Hold on, guys. I just got real hot because of this light. Thank you, Cynthia. Okay, this clarity was good that a person should get out of this, out if it's harmful. Yes, that's Annie. They should get, that's how I get my name back up there. Look, I double clicked twice. I could have got that from Darnell. He would have told me. I didn't even, you see, I learned the hard way. Yes. If it's harmful, you absolutely get out of it. And then before you get into another relationship, deal with what kept you there. Deal with what kept you there, because you shouldn't be getting into relationships that end up being harmful. That means you missed a lot of red flags in the beginning. And a lot of people come to me and say, oh, no, it was just an overnight Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. No, it wasn't. No, you saw some things. You said, well, he's a good person. I don't ever believe that. You saw red flags. You didn't see it as a red flag. You saw it as a pink flag. And you didn't put emphasis on it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Penny. Cheryl, my girl, thanks for sharing. Thank you, Yvette, and hello. So this is the balance. Yes, Annie. Yes. Some men are intimidated by some women they can't control. I will not allow anyone to control me. I answered my phone, what's up? And this guy told me that's ghetto. I answered my phone, my personal phone. I'm not in the boardroom. Therefore, what difference does it make how I answer my phone? I blocked him. I'm zero. Right. And that's another example of someone being triggered by certain things, That's a past trigger from whatever the hell kind of experience he had in the past. That's where that trigger comes from. He has a problem with people answering the phone saying hello. And he made that your problem, everybody else's problem. Yeah, get rid of him. He got some damn triggers to work out. Some can be financial. You mean as far as issues? Right. Now, financial is a different story. You know what I mean? If you're really young, you're in your 20 dumbs, in your 20s, you're just starting out, of course, you're building your life. That's one thing different. And then you have relationships. Of course, I've dealt with a lot of relationships with financial problems, but that's not the core of their issues. Okay. It becomes an effect of everything else they're going through, because on top of everything they're going through, now they have now they have a financial burden, right? That they can't meet, or that they can't manage. Okay. So yes, finances, it depends on your earning potential. Again, it depends on if you're willing to stick around and see if things get better. But if you're already in an established relationship and someone loses their finances have dropped, and if it's not because of something that they have done, then they shouldn't be held accountable for that. I mean, when you're in a relationship or you're married, the money comes together, and we both have to figure out a way to grow our finances. So going on there. This is very good live. Thank you, Lena. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, Penny. Hold on. Thank you so much, Penny, for your stars. I appreciate it, guys. I'm still not at a place where I'm able to see stars because I won't ask Darnell for some damn reason. I need to just ask the question so he can show me. Thank you so much, Penny, for the stars. Hey, Silky Smooth. Hello. Thanks for coming through. The key to success is to focus on goals and not obstacles. Right. Relationship goals and not obstacles. When you focus on obstacles, you're going to be, it's going to affect your happiness. It's going to take your peace away. So you're absolutely right. Respect is important. I need my space. I don't like to be smothered. Right. And that's a great thing about me and my wife. We both need our space, and we both enjoy our time away. She's always, we live in our home, but we have our different areas of this home where we spend most of our time with. And when we go to bed, then we're together. But she allows me to do whatever I need to do in my own space. And she gives me all the time in the world to do whatever it is I want to do. And I do the same with her. Okay. I don't burden her with anything about me being needy. If I need anything, I can always get it from her. So, it's about eliminating all those little small obstacles. I don't pay no mind to it. I don't pay no mind to it. And I'm not going to destroy my peace over something that I cannot control. Hold on, guys. Gotta have my water here. Cynthia said, yes, so true. 23 years in, and I love my own space and my time to myself. Right. Space is the key. Space is the key. I'm telling you guys, space is the key. If you can get a bigger place, get an extra room where somebody can go. I'm telling you. Thank you so much, Melody. Hello. Sometimes we have to blame ourselves for expecting too much from others. Right. You can't expect more than what they give. What they give is what you should be expecting. You shouldn't be expecting anything more than that. Now, naturally, we want to expect more, right? It's like, okay, you can do better than that. Really, you could. But the reality is they're not at this moment, So the best way to be in a relationship is just be a better version of yourself, become better, become, more accepting of non-toxic behavior, things that are just surface. Open up your mind. Don't expect things to always be your way. And when you don't get your way, don't expect to have your way, because that's the biggest damn conflict. When you're pushing for this and they're doing that, it's like, no, work out your issue and grow yourself. And if you get, and when you get to a place where you have evolved emotionally into that bigger and better person, if that person that you're with no longer aligns with what you want in your life, then you move on in your relationship. And unfortunately, marriages end that way. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's about just growing out of something. People get tired of the same behavior. You get in a relationship where everybody, but both of you guys are drinking. One person stops drinking, the other person continues to drink every damn day. Eventually, that's going to be tired, especially if behavior is attached to it. You know, it's going to get tired. Sometimes, yeah. But we refuse to pay attention. Yes, they are always there. Penny said, if you are new here, please let us know so we can welcome you, give you love. Yes, thank you, Penny. Hey, Sabrina. Pay attention to actions, not words. I heard from what you said, but I see how you act. Pay attention to actions, not words. I heard what you said, but I see how you act. Right, exactly. Exactly. I was almost like Vera for a minute. They're like, what the hell you say? Vera's funny as hell. Hey, Rosie. Thank you, Amir. I appreciate it. Okay, Rose from South Carolina. Hello. Oh, you're new? Thank you so much. And you guys, if you like my content, you can support me by joining my Facebook subscribers group. If you like me and you want to support me and you want to support my content, please join my subscribers group on Facebook for only $4.99 a month. Great love. Thank you so much. You pay too much. So, guys, that's going to be it for now. I don't know what my next coaching topic is. I have so many, but it'll probably be dealing with difficult children, you know, and parental guilt. Okay, that's another thing that I have experience with my clients, dealing with parental guilt, and also how to deal with difficult children. You know, the reason behind their their behaviors, and what you can do to improve with your relationship with your difficult children, you know, especially teenagers. No, I don't. Lisa, wait, did I miss Vera? I don't know if Vera was here, Lisa. Okay, so I'm gonna try and do this at least twice a week, probably more, and just pick different topics and show you guys what a coach actually does do, and what a difference a coach can make in someone's life. All right. For all you guys who don't know, Penny, can you please you know what? I'll do it. I was going to say pin my website. Well, Penny, yeah, can you pin my website, please? If you don't mind. Thank you so much, Penny. You guys can visit my website to see what I do, to see the coaching services that I offer. And like I said, I'm going to be giving you guys, you know, I'm going to be doing more sessions. This is session number 1. As I do it more, I'll get better at it because I'm not used to always explaining what coaching is about. So this is new territory for me. But I do want to, you know, make you guys aware of what coaching is, and and show you guys how we actually change lives, you know, and the effect that we have on people's lives. All right. So thank you so much for joining me in this live. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.